107.5 WBLS, your number one source for R&B.
Fellas, I want you to listen very, very closely to that. Because this brother has a very hard task of choosing from 24 selected beautiful women of who will be the ideal true love for him. It is a pleasure and honor to welcome Mr. Shawn Bullard to the Calm Before the Storm. How you feel, man?
Thank you, Len. You're smooth, man.
I'm not as smooth as you, brother. And I'm not as lucky as you right now.
I can agree with that, man, but you're a smooth fella, brother.
You're very kind.
I appreciate you. What's up, New York? I do have to agree. It was looking while I was in it. It was like, man, it was a lot going on. But now that I look back, it's like, yeah, I am a lucky man. Lucky man.
I can't wait to see how this all plays out. Now, tell me, man. Let's give everyone a little background on who you are.
Okay.
You know, we did learn before we sat down tonight that you're a graduate of Temple University.
Yes.
Wonderful, phenomenal school.
Phenomenal school.
Then you got into football.
Yes.
Right?
Got into football.
And now you are a very successful entrepreneur when it comes to real estate. Matter of fact, rumor has it on the street, you're a guru.
Yeah,
in Philadelphia. You're a guru. I mean, you've been very good and very. Man, your first job, your first venture turned out to be very well for you.
Yeah, it was a duplex when I was a senior in college, and I took out a student loan since I was on a full scholarship.
Wow.
And that was a refund check. And I was, instead of going out buying Jordans or like a lot of my teammates or jewelry, I put that check down. It was a $10,000 check, and I put it down on my first property.
You just did that naturally, instinctually?
Instinctually, because it was I broke my leg in college and playing West Virginia, and at that moment it was like, you know what, football isn't forever. I need something that's going to make me just or more wealthy, and a business that I can call my own. And real estate just stuck.
Wow.
Yeah, so it worked out for me.
It worked and it grew.
And it grew.
And it's growing.
It's a lot of hard work, but it's definitely growing. It grew. And I definitely took on a lot early on. I'm 33, and but I made it work.
I'm really curious, Brother Shawn. A man who's 33 years old, quite successful. How do you have a hard time finding the ideal woman?
Because I'm picky. And what another thing is, brother? A lot of times when you have all your stuff going together, I hear from women all the time, what do you want from me? Like, you got everything going together. You got everything going on for you. And I'm just like, don't worry about that. That's why you should like me, not be intimidated by me.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? And, or other terms is, nowadays, man, like I grew up old school, the OGs on the block or whatever, all this social media, it's not the old way of courting a woman and meeting a woman in a produce aisle at the grocery store. And I'm not with that social media eHarmony stuff.
Really?
You know what I mean? Nah, I'm with the meet you face to face. If I like you, I see you in the club or out in the street, I'm gonna come up to you. You know what I'm saying? Say hi.
Ladies, I've had the chance to take a sneak peek at these beautiful ladies, Brother Shawn Bullard, that you have had the honors of meeting and spending some quality. And interesting.
Quality, interesting, and intimate.
Oh, gosh. Fellas. I think I would like to be in his shoes probably for one day. I probably couldn't hold out for more than one day. But for one day, Brother Shawn Bullard, I would like to have been in your shoes. Now, let's finish the pie out. This show is not only bringing you together in front of these beautiful ladies, but it's headed up by a spiritual advisor who is for the Indianapolis Colts. Tell me about Reverend Johnson.
Reverend Ken Johnson, that's my boy, man. That was he was my right-hand go-to man on the show.
Really?
And he's a pastor, but he is from the streets. He's lived it. He's been on both sides of the spectrum, but at the same time, he talks the talk, walk the walk. He's been married 30-something years to the same woman, loves her to death, and he's a great guy through this this very tough path that I have of going through these women.
Because he also probably will sit down with the ladies too. I'm sure.
He sits down with them and see what they have going on, what they have in store. Also let's see if I'm the right guy for them. It's not all about me.
So is he upon him counseling them or kind of getting a perspective on them? Does he kind of give you an understanding of where they're at as well, so you kind of can get a good feel?
He made it so I make my own decision. He knew I was my own man, but the same time he was like an oracle. He put it out there, and it was up for me to find my way. And sometimes he gets to to save one of the girls that he thinks is worth saving.
Wow. But ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell you this. In case you didn't know, every woman that is closest to a man's heart is his mother.
Yes.
And your mama
Yes. My mama
is on this show.
Yes.
And your mama
Yes.
is like my mama.
Yeah.
She speaks her mind
Yes.
right from the heart.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, sir.
your mama is going to keep it real.
She's gonna keep it
With
real.
you?
Yep.
Because I heard she said something about some chick she saw you with on Facebook.
Right.
I can't use the exact words of how his mother described this woman, but I knew from that point she is nothing to play with.
She's no joke.
So she was stern on you growing up, wasn't she?
Oh yeah, she
Yeah.
was stern on me. I was lucky to have a 2-parent household. It's kind of like a
Bless.
throwback nowadays, and she was definitely stern on me, and always, made sure she caught. I've cheated and come home and skipped school and had a girl in the house, and all of a sudden, man, I guess like that Mama Maggie beacon would go off, and she's backing up in the driveway. And I get caught, like done. She's the old school throwback.
So wait, did you get timeouts or did you get whoopings?
Oh man, I used to get whoopings. There wasn't no timeouts in the Bullard.
timeouts, right?
There wasn't no
Yeah, I heard
timeout
that.
in the Bullard factory.
Of course, Brother Shawn, you shared with me just a moment ago that you will have the ultimate decision. And I know, because you go through a process of elimination.
Yes.
And I like the fact that you brought modern technology into this because everyone uses their cell phones. Everyone texts.
Right.
So you keep all of these beautiful ladies on hold as you select or as you want to meet them or if you need to let them go.
Let them go. Yeah,
The hardest thing is letting them go.
The hardest, one of the main things in my life, I always like those who like me. So those girls were there, and then even if I knew it only can be one, and I didn't have the strongest connection, it was hard letting a woman go, man.
What's the hardest thing for you? Like you said, the likability is the first problem. But is it just by the fact that you have to hurt somebody? Because emotions are going to definitely be bruised here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say tarnished, but definitely bruised.
Absolutely. It's I'm a guy that loves to not let a woman down. Yeah. Letting a woman down is hard, man. It's hard. Even if I only know her for a couple of days, so I got that in me, and just seeing me having to say, hey, we're not a match, and to go home, that's hard, man. Some people enjoy it, but I'm a guy. I got a big heart, and and I don't feel I'm above any other person or any especially any woman. I'm a total gentleman. So that's the hard part for me. But you owe it to them not to waste their time.
Brother Shawn Bullard, you seem like a good guy. Do good guys in 2015 finish first, in the middle, or last?
Good guys with a bad boy edge always finish first, brother.
So you got to have the bad boy edge.
You gotta have that. You gotta
So
have that little.
you just revealed that you definitely have the good guy, but you have the bad guy, the bad boy edge.
You gotta be Batman. You gotta be Batman.
You got to change costumes.
You gotta
Because
be
if
Batman.
you're too squeaky clean, it just doesn't work.
You're born, and if you're too bad and they can't take you home to mama, and then they're gonna find out late, you gotta be that nice balance. Just like with you women out there, you don't always need to get dressed up, walk around the house with just some some leggings on and a t-shirt and panties. You ain't always gotta be done up, makeup up.
That's true. We like them regular.
We like it regular,
but sexy
and
edgy.
And
a little devilish.
Exactly. A little devilish. And they like the same thing with us too. I've been a guy that's I can walk in and sit with the mayor of Philly and go over a development plan, but then I'll leave out there, take my suit off or whatever, and I'm tatted up and I put my earrings back in.
Yep. You get the job done.
You get the job done.
Hey, look, ladies, watch out. He's a heartthrob. Now, I don't know what happens. Obviously, none of us knows what happens at the end of this road for you. But can you share this much? Can you share that the lady whichever lady you select, is this automatically going to be the wife, or is this still in the getting to know process?
Well, you gotta watch the show, but it's we made it so that we're going to be real. This show is as real as it gets, and it's not going to be some cheesy. I just get down on one knee because it's the show. But I do get down. You guys do see I do get down on one knee. Can't tell you what happened.
Which one's right?
But if I do, it's real, and if I don't, it's real because I'm not going to be a cliche. We're going to find out if the fantasy continues outside of the show. So, you know, that's what we want to do. The dates are amazing on the show. I mean, you guys, you know, you won't see that like around episode
We saw the
2.
trailer, man.
It's going to be crazy.
We saw how much fun you had. And I'm sure did they have to shoot a scene twice? That's something, you know.
Is that
Did you have to shoot a scene twice? Especially the scenes in the pool or the intimate moments.
You know what's funny? That's a good question. I don't know if they shot him twice, but they definitely shot him long.
There you go. That's all we need. Long shots. That's all we need. Long shots. Dating up or dating down. And looking at myself, and I'm an older version probably of you, the bottom line is I've learned that I probably have dated down a lot. Dated down a lot has ran me into brick walls. Do you feel it's important to not be sympathetic, but to be understanding to those who may not be at our level, and that's why we do date down, to date at our level or to date above?
You know, I've been a guy to early on when I was younger to definitely date above.
Wow. And
that's hard for a man to do because we are the macho, egotistic creature on this earth. And when you date a woman, I remember I had out of college, I was dating a woman that was 6 years older than me. I had just got, released from the charges before I got picked back up again, and she was a corporate lawyer.
Wow.
And she couldn't find a man. Beautiful girl, model, couldn't find a man because a lot of men could not take her great career, making 6 figures. And I took my young, wet behind the ear, took her on as a challenge.
Wow.
And I learned how to treat a woman and also see that even though a woman with all her credentials, she still needs to feel like a woman at the end of the day and come home and have a shoulder to cry on.
Yeah.
And from that there, unfortunately we didn't work out after like 2 years, but from that there I was able to say, look, man, every man, whether you date down or you date on even plane or you date above, you still got a role as a man. You can always imply your will as a man. And if that's just making a woman feel confident, if that's just being like her shoulder to cry on, if that's giving her great advice, whether she's doing better than you at the time or not, you do that. And it's worked out for me.
And you know what, brother? There's nothing in my mind that tells me that this show is not going to work out for you as well.
Oh, well, I hope so.
I wish you all the best, brother Shawn Bullard.
I appreciate it.
This has been a wonderful encounter, man, and I look forward to you coming back to us after it's all over.
Thank you.
And hopefully, can you bring her with you?
Oh, absolutely.
Next time? And that way we can have a conversation with both of you. And kind of, I like to nitpick and just, I'm sure everyone else is kind of curious too.
Absolutely.
So we'd love to have you back.
Yep.
Shawn Bullard, baby. Match made in heaven. We TV. You're going to be quite impressed on how this all turns out. Because it's got me on the edge. I just took a sneak peek at the first episode, so I can't wait for the rest of the episodes.
Thanks, Lynn. Yeah.
And you keep us definitely in suspense.
Absolutely, and you can reach me on Instagram at Shawn _Bullard. That's SHAWN _BULLARD, and on Twitter MMIH _ at WeTV. I appreciate you, New York.
His numbers just went up by 1 million. Shawn Bullard, baby.